adventurers! Welcome to LT Fozzbottom's Global Maker Challenge. I'm so excited to be part of the Virtually Maker Faire 2020. It's a very interesting time we're living in, but look at what the maker community is now doing. We are all becoming virtually makers from one part of the globe to the other for a 24-hour event. Thank you for joining me this Saturday morning. I'm especially proud of what we've accomplished here upon the Zeppelin that I fly around the world in for LT Fozzbottom's Global Challenge. Now, when you joined me, you probably didn't realize I'd be speaking like this or look like this, but this is how I do on a daily basis. Now, you may notice my friend here named Clanker. He'll be with me for the event to share in his Global Maker event. Oh, I see the thinking cap is going. It must mean that it's time to start talking about why you are here and what it is we are going to do. Well, the good news is, sometimes I actually stop talking like that and I go into who I really am. And welcome. My name's Kyle Kitchen. I am a EdTech consultant for the District School Board of Niagara. And I've been teaching for 20 years, elementary, K through 8. And the past 10, I've been the front lines of EdTech, which has been especially amazing during this last few weeks, getting all our teachers and students online and connecting virtually. My passion, as you can see around, I am hosting this from my basement. This has been my ground zero, running things in the shop and getting online with everybody. But my passion is making, and I've been at tons and tons of Maker Fairs. I've seen many of you who are now presenting this weekend live in person. You are amazing, and I'm especially honored to be able to host a little bit of your time today just to talk about the LT Fozzbottom's Maker Challenge. I'm not even sure where this brewed up from. I think eventually, as an EdTech person, seeing how many links we were handing out and getting the kids online and getting them to click here, click there, it really made me sad that I couldn't be with them to introduce them to making. And making, I know, is a passion of yours, but making is innate for all of us. Right when we can start putting stuff together, we start building with our hands and we start creating. And I felt that some of that was getting lost when we started teaching, and we were so worried. And remember, this is an emergency pandemic way of learning and teaching, but we were losing that aspect of creating. And that's where I'm extremely passionate, is the creation piece. So using my alter ego that I created this year, I've used him for Our Code. Basically, it's some weird British guy speaking in a steampunk Zeppelin that flies around the world, and he's surrounded by parts and pieces. I really wanted to create a global challenge where teachers could deliver this, but it wasn't just teachers, it was adults, it was students, and they would create something with stuff they found around the house, recycled materials, cans, paper towel rolls, anything you can find, to create something awesome. And I really made this broad. Usually I'm the guy that gives the provocation, or I give you a problem. I use the UN Sustainable Goals, where I want them to create something that's going to clean the water in their area. But because of these times, I really also just wanted them to make. I wanted them to dive into their creative juices. I wanted them to tell me what they were making, what they were creating, why they were doing it. And I just wanted them to create and make and have fun again. And the responses have been overwhelming. I created an email site, a website for LT Fozzbottom, and it's been great seeing those shared. And I just want to get this more global, to share it out with you, whoever wants to participate in this. I did get one lucky submission from England. I am Canadian, but I'm based in Upper New York right now. And it's great to see kids making, no matter what their passion is. They could be using cardboard, they could be coding something, they could be soldering, it could be anything. But the key is, there was no reason to go out of their house. Everything they need is right here. So every time they finish a yogurt, what could that create? What could that make? And we all know that we makers are like that borderline of hoarding. We know that, it's okay. But that's why I have things like, a couple paper towel rolls ready to go. My kids are well trained to throw things down in the basement of Dad's makerspace, which I did originally create for them, by the way. But we all get down here, we create, and we build. So Clanker happened because I just want to see people make again. And because I like to have fun, and I knew a provocation, here's a robot and he has a mission, and it was about to share things with me on the Zeppelin because I like to create. I want to see you be inspired. I want to see you make. And a lot of our students from our district did share, and a lot of the teachers right now are currently in the midst of having a great maker challenge. One I got today was they're having a fashion show with wearable shoes that they had to create from recycled materials. Wait till you see these shoes on the website. They are amazing. We're talking pumps, sandals, name brands. It's crazy and it's amazing. And that's what I was hoping to inspire with the Global Maker Challenge. Now, why should I do something for Maker Faire virtually in 2020? Well, it really was just to re-inspire everyone that making doesn't have to be on a level up to here just yet. We're all going to get there, but I also want to make sure it's inclusive for our people who maybe have some difficulties putting things together. It doesn't matter the intelligence. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic status. What matters is that you want to make something. You want to create something, and this is something everyone could do. So it's not a competition. It's literally maybe a selfish reason of mine, reason to share something to me to make me smile. I'm going to share the video at the end of this as well so you can see the original challenge I put out, and it really is LT Fozzbottom, make his heart happy. And I apologize for my accent. I've used it so many times, and it's hilarious. There's times where I switch back and forth to everything. Whoop. And sometimes when you forget you have something in your hand, and that's making. It's not pretty, but it's fun. And I really hope by watching this, I'm going to do a little demo of a fun little animal if you want to share it out to your cohorts, friends, whoever. I'm really hoping that we all hop on this global challenge and then just visit the website to see what people are making and be inspired. It's just that one-stop shop, especially for my teachers and my students, to really think about what they can create. And the fact is that, yes, you can. You can be inspired. I'm inspired by you and what you make, and I really hope that you share, because that's the biggest thing. Share with your family, share with your neighborhood. I know everyone does teddy bears, and that's been amazing in the windows. Well, why not do a robot? Why not share with all our delivery people when they come and give them a little smile? So thank you for joining me. I know it's not a super long session, and it's more me talking, which I hate doing, but let's flip over now to the little maker part of the program where I show you a fun little animal, and I also show you some of my favorite things like I used with Clanker for some physical coding, because it's always fun to dream of the what ifs, and to keep it simple as well, because you guys out there are some amazing makers and coders. I am not one of you. I'm just a fun, creative maker, but my coding level is about here. So let's take a look at See a Little Making, and I'll see you back here in a second. So growing up Canadian, we had a lot of shows like Mr. Dress Up that kind of showed the original makers and how they did stuff. They never just had completed things. They always showed things being made, and I think as a maker community, that's what we do. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time just to show you a quick little video to kind of reinforce what I'm talking about with the Fozzbottom challenge of upcycling materials, basically to make kids happy, because we all have that stuff. And let's be honest, it all starts from stuff like this. We makers all have a problem. It's called hoarding, but it's going to come in useful sometime. So I thought I'd do a little demo, practice what I preach. And so I have a whole bunch of recycled materials. Here you go. You've got paper towel rolls, toilet paper rolls, boxes, tins. And this is where we finally get to dip into that drawer of what I like to call the doodads, the junk drawer. So let's just make something really quick together. And as we make, I'm going to talk, but I think you'll see what the kids can pull out of this, because what it really comes down to is imagination. And that's what we're really looking for. So common materials, tape, doesn't matter what kind it is. I always stress that anything that you create is something worthy of creation. There is no wrong way of making. So what I see here, I'm pretty lucky, you know. That's my go-to tool, my glue stick. But when I see stuff like this, I think there's got to be some kind of a creature right away. So I'm just going to make that creature. Who knows what it's going to be? It could be a zebra, could be a lion. But you have to also think, even though I'm doing this quickly, there's a lot that goes into this. A lot of kids, sometimes when we're in school, they'll just start gluing stuff down. They don't really have a plan. But I've been noticing with this Fozzbottom challenge is that they are coming up with plans. They are measuring, they are using rulers. But what they're really doing is they're thinking and problem solving about why they're making something. What are they going to create? What is the purpose? What's the provocation? And that's super, super important when we make. Sometimes we do make just for the sake of making, but a lot of times we're making with a purpose. So here's my little animal. I don't know what this guy's going to be involved in, but it could be something awesome. It could be going to the garden. It could be making a toy for someone, but it really comes down to just simplicity. Why? Because we makers know that we just enjoy things. So this is what I want to stress with a lot of our students. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, there's going to be a lot going on. Yes, I could grab my rulers and you can see a lot of things coming out of this. We can talk about math. We can talk about the measurement. But my biggest thing is I'm a big storyteller, as you probably found out. This is where I'm going to develop a story about my character. I'm going to tell my students that, ooh, maybe you can make a story. It's funny, I don't even know what these are. They just happen to be in my drawer of doodads. So think about how easy this is that I just went through stuff. I found stuff. I know this is on video, but I really didn't plan anything out. I just kind of see what I have. I drew some stuff, pick up things. No, maybe I don't want that. Who knows? There's a lot going on when you have that junk drawer. And then, of course, let's decorate it. Maybe this is going to be some kind of a zebra. I don't know. But as they develop and as they make, one thing I do know is that I can make this more lifelike. I can add ears. But the Fozzbottom challenge is also about telling us about this story. Why did you create this? What was going through your head? What was the provocation behind this? And as I said, it's just that simple. Just by finding junk around the house, using tape, gluing, that's what we want to do. So basically we make because we can. And that's what I want to inspire in our students and our kids and everyone around the world, that we have all these materials. It doesn't always have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the robot. It doesn't have to be things made with Arduinos. It can simply be a thing. Because back in my day, because, LT Fozzbottom is old, that's what we had were things. So just want to stress, this is a great challenge for people in your community because it's inclusive. It doesn't matter how much you have, how little you have, you can always make something that's going to be awesome. So I just want to share that little segment with you. So even though I'm a big upcycling and I love cardboard when I do maker activities, I do like to show the students and everybody else the what ifs. What is the next level of making and what can you do? Now I'm going to preface this with I probably had the coding ability of a 10-year-old. I don't know coding like writing strings, and I always appreciate those people that do. You're amazing. But for me, I need something easy that is effective. It kind of shows what I'm trying to create and do and lets my imagination soar. So I do have a couple things that I use quite often when I create something. Number one is going to be my good old makey. Just using touch sensors to have things talk, to activate scratch programs, things like that. Of course, my big one that I use almost all the time comes from Birdbrain Technologies. It's a hummingbird kit. Basically, it takes all that power of an Arduino, but makes it easy for people like me. And I really appreciate them because it's got motion sensors, it has servos, they've got distance and light sensors. They're a company I really, really like. They're great too. They have millions of webinars and how-tos, and even got my mind thinking about mechanics and sharing those with students. I often find making some of those mechanical goods. And because the Hummingbird does associate now with the microbit, I think we all know microbits by now, they're pretty amazing. They just add that new dimension to whatever it is you're creating. So I think that's really important, just to show that where can you go from here. Obviously, all these things are still recycled, but they just have that little next layer of things that you can do. And let's be honest, it makes it fun for everybody as well. And then this guy over here, totally, he is just recycled. And I really learned how to try and solder for my first time, which wasn't awesome, but it was something new that I wanted to learn while stuck in this pandemic mode. And so I did find some old toys and turned out pretty good. There's a little battery inside. And I think this is always the fun part, when you kind of reveal what's behind everything. And, you know, making, as I always say, is super messy. And so sometimes you get really good with hiding things. I love my duct tape. But when I was in the classroom this year, before we left for our breaks and before we went into this scene, we introduced the hummingbirds and learning the code. And the nice thing is, a selection of those students really want to go to the next level. And so I was able to guide them to, well, here's how you learn about Python and JavaScript and all those awesome coding features, and here's how you learn Arduino. And so this is my one step that this is what I know, this is what I can do, and then they can take it that much further. One of the things I'm really proud of with the LT Fozzbottom Maker Global Challenge is the ability to share it with others. I have an email address at ltfozzbottom@gmail.com. You can also go on Twitter and hashtag Fozzbottom Challenge. And this is the website that I created just for fun, so students, people can go share and have the joy that I'm having seeing all their creations. It's simply bit.ly/Fozzbottom Challenge. And as you can see in here, there are some amazing creations just done from recycled materials. And what these students are making and what some of these adults are sharing with us are simply amazing and really innovative and problem solving abilities, that they create some of these things, that these are all wearable shoes. And the one thing you're going to notice as you see some of these things on the website, it's the smiles. And this is why Fozzbottom Global Challenge is out there, just for kids to have a moment to create with their hands again, enjoy what they're doing. And I do know a lot of parents have been emailing me and thanking me because they've enjoyed learning with their students as well as they create some of these awesome things that they're sharing with me. And hey, if you have a mustache on while you do this, you get bonus points too. So feel free to share all that out, make your own creations, and I'll be putting them on the website. And some people actually get a response from Fozzbottom himself, so that they enjoy and know that their sharing is making everyone happy in the world. So thank you for joining me this Saturday morning. And of course, I can't let you go as Kyle Kitchen. I gotta let you go as our friend. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making me feel happy and sharing this with your students and friends. Stay safe out there, keep making and join the global LT Fozzbottom Challenge, and enjoy the rest of your virtually Maker Faire 2020. Cheerio and take care. Hello, adventurers! LT Fozzbottom here. I am the director of Her Majesty's Secret Intelligence Service Department of Making and Tinkering. In these trying times, I find myself at a loss. I've been in isolation above my flying airship, the enigmatic Zeppelin. So, with the materials I found around the Zeppelin, I created a mechanical automaton to help me share my message. This is Cranker. He's born of recycled materials just laying around this ship. He just did not appear. Many things went wrong. My mistakes were so glorious that I also started going a little bit crazy. As did Cranker. Thus, I issue to you a Maker Challenge. I want you to create a wondrous invention for items that you found around your home. Search for those coveted paper towel rolls, recyclables, empty boxes. Perhaps you know of some broken toys that need repurposing. Or maybe it's time to finally dive into the drawer of doodads that we all have. No invention is too small, no inventor too old. I issue this Maker Challenge to all makers, children, students, teachers, adults, grandparents, and robots. Finally, there'd be no greater smile in my heart than being able to see and share your creations with the world. Remember, all inventions are great inventions. This is not a competition, but a collection of the minds. Take pictures of your inventions. Maybe put them in your window or your porch for your neighbors to see. Then share them with me at ltfozzbottom@gmail.com. Or you can use the Twitter hashtag Hashtag Fozzbottom Challenge. If you're a young inventor, please check with your family or teachers and have them take a picture of your creation to send them off. You want up? We and the world eagerly await what amazing recycled creations you make. And from the bottom of my heart, stay safe. You and the maker community shall prevail through this time. Chin up, my maker adventurers, and take care.